appreciate everybody taking some time joining us, being with us today. I just got off the phone a couple minutes ago with Dr. Pittman, our Congress chair, so he's going to be signing in here for a little bit. He's actually in the car going from one of his clinics to another clinic right now, so I'm sure he's trying to get dialed in off the telephone. There he is. All right, Dr. Pittman, can you hear us? You're muted currently.
Yes, sir. Dean, how is everybody?
Terrific. We've got a lot of people logging in. I shared a little bit that, we're going to try to hopefully prevent you from having an auto accident by Zoom. Is it illegal to Zoom and drive? I know it is text and drive, right? But I don't know about Zoom calls.
No, it's perfectly legal, and I'm grandfathered in on texting and driving. I've been texting and driving since '95 when I had a PDA on my belt. So I was doing it 10 years before most people, but that's a story for the cocktail hour in New Orleans. So
there we go.
We'll kick it off from there.
Terrific. Well, we're going to give another 30, 60 seconds just so everybody is aware. This is being recorded, and then will be made available on our avlscongress.org website. So if it's something you want to go back to, share with your colleagues, those kinds of things, you'll be able to do so probably by the end of the week. Depends on how quick we can get it up and posted on the website. And do appreciate, again, everybody's spending some time with us, allowing us to bring you up to speed on what's going on with the 2022 AVLS Congress, and hopefully get some questions and answers towards the end. Hopefully we'll find it all interesting and answer a lot of questions that we may have here now that we're just a few months away from October. While we're waiting on others, hopefully everybody here does know anytime you have any questions, things going on, avlscongress.org is the Congress website. You can go there and there's a ton of information. It is constantly being updated and changed, and as we progress through things. So great. Well, we're 12:32 on mine. Dr. Pittman, I know you've got patients you're on your way to go see and all of that, so we want to get started here. I'm going to go ahead and get our presentation up and running that we're going to walk through here over the next 45 minutes to an hour. So we're excited to welcome everybody to New Orleans. This is the first time the AVLS has held a meeting in New Orleans. It's going to be, I think, a great venue, a lot of opportunity to have a lot of fun, but also an incredible program that's been put together. As I mentioned, and like to introduce and have Dr. Pittman just say a few words to get us going. Chris Pittman has been a longtime member of the AVLS, 2006. He serves on our board of directors. He is chair of Healthcare Policy and Advocacy Committee. Very, very involved on a daily, weekly, monthly basis with the society, really helping to shepherd the efforts that we've committed to over the last few years towards healthcare policy, advocacy, all of that. Been a long-term donor to our foundation as well. So Dr. Pittman, microphone's yours to get things kicked off here.
Well, you know how dangerous that can be, Dean, because I'm not known to be short-winded, but thank you all for being here, especially in the middle of the summer. We do have a really exciting meeting set up. We have some amazing program chairs with amazing credentials, and we're expecting a great turnout for this meeting. A couple of things we're going to do a little differently this year is, as we know, the tagline for the American Vein and Lymphatic Society is "We Are." That is, we're advocacy, research, and education. And so we promote research and education, of course, a lot at our annual meeting. Advocacy, not so much, which of course I'm a big fan of. And there's a handful of other very distinguished board members who are also fans of advocacy. So what we're doing this year is we're going to pepper the entire meeting with advocacy issues around lymphedema, lipedema, superficial vein disease, deep venous, pelvic venous insufficiency. And we're definitely going to have a standalone advocacy session, but we're going to have at least 1 or 2 talks per program that has to do with advocacy. And so we're very excited about this. We really think it's going to add a lot to our annual meeting. Obviously, we don't want 30, 30, 30, 30% or 33% education, 33% research, and 33% advocacy. As much as I would love that, it's like deer in the headlights for a lot of people, but we're going to do a little more than we have in the past. So again, we're really excited about that. And, the research gurus and education and academic gurus would tell you that, there's advocacy issues or concerns that come up in just about every research and education program. And so we're real excited to have that a part intertwined through the entire meeting. Dean, I really think that's it, other than we're also going to do the same with our international program that's being headed up by Sergio Giannissini. Many of you will know Sergio. He's also our international board member. So we're also going to have some occasional comments and involvement from the greater international community of venous and lymphatic medicine, which is obviously going to help in a ride up to the UIP in Miami the following year. Dean, did I miss anything?
No, I think that's a good start, Chris, and appreciate that. And it's amazing the work that's been done so far this year. On the screen now, sharing just a few of the highlighted speakers. Very excited. We've got a commitment from Tracy Callahan, who is a venous disease patient, also an Olympic volleyball player. And she's has agreed to actually be at the annual Congress arriving Wednesday, and will be with us through the entire event to Sunday. She's going to be our grand marshal at our Congress expedition, as well as the fun run. You'll see her at a variety of activities and events throughout. So outstanding there. We've got Danny Carroll. She's a former F-35 pilot, but also past president of the Space Surgical Society. Going to be sharing some interesting science about ultrasound on the space station, as well as a variety of other things. Along the lines of various interesting approaches, and Chris, I'm excited. Dr. Raphael Schneider, he's a neurologist, will be talking to us about the connection between neurology and venous disease. One of our members, Dr. Reddy, happens to be the chair of the Illinois State Board of Medicine. That'll be a great talk on what's going on policy advocacy, those kinds of things. David Klabanis from the Palm Beach Accountable Care Organization. Again, another great talk on what's going on out there. We've got Scott Smith from NASA back with us again this year, and he's actually going to be presenting in our Deep Venous session. We had experienced a DVT crisis on the space station a couple of years ago. That incident has now been published, and he'll be presenting what transpired and what we can learn from that as well. So this is just a handful of some of the great speakers that the committee has pulled together and the different chairs have brought. So it's going to be an exciting venue. Chris?
Yeah, Dean, I was just going to highlight a couple of folks. Raphael Schneider, the intersection in neurology and venous and lymphatic disease. You're all going to find that fascinating. Dave Klabonis runs the most successful value-based organization in the United States. Palm Beach ACO is #1 out of over 500 of those organizations. And as many of us know, there's a sea change from fee-for-service to fee-for-value medicine. So we're excited to hear about him. Srinivas Reddy, not only chair of the Illinois State Board, but very plugged in politically, both at the state level in Illinois and frankly nationally. And then I think it's okay to mention this, but we're going to have a couple videos from a couple congressmen. One of them instrumental in the clinical labor update advocacy effort, and that's going to be Gus Bilirakis and the other congressman from Chicago, Davis, Representative Danny Davis. So anyway, that'll be interesting as well. Thanks, Dean.
Great, terrific. So moving on, the AVLS Annual Congress, and just a reminder to everybody, it's the most comprehensive program when you look at everything. And so there's sessions covering everything involved in venous and lymphatic medicine, lipedema, pelvic venous disease, wound care, leg ulcers, et cetera. So as you begin to look at the program in a little more detail to try to understand the type of attendees that will be there, and as our corporate partners, for those of you that are on the call that have not registered to exhibit with us yet, you're going to see an attraction to a wide variety of people from all different places. Along that line, and we'll remind you again later, the detailed program for this year's annual Congress will be available at avlscongress.org by Friday of this week. You see a high-level overview on that website currently, but as of Friday over the weekend, you'll be able to drill into each of the programs and see who the speakers are, which doctors, which presentations are going on in all of the sessions across the way. So, excuse me, we are excited to be able to get that to you much sooner than historical. So you'll be able to drill down and see all of that as well. Moving on, highlighted, this is a repeat in the sense of a new activity, a new part of the annual Congress. It's called the AVLS Space Forum. Dr. Mark Moline, Heather Hetrick are chairing this again this year. It was a kind of a private offshoot last year in Denver, but it is foremost and center in the program Thursday evening as a dinner event. And again, you can see some great speakers here. There's a lot of research going on at the space station and low Earth orbit that has a lot to do and will end up having major implications in how we treat venous and lymphatic disease in the future. You can imagine the effects of zero gravity or near zero gravity on the body and fluid mechanics and how those things work. So Dr. Moline and Hetrick both are really doing a lot of work on a global basis in how this research may impact what we do on a clinical basis going forward. They're able to replicate things and evaluate things in space much quicker than we're able to do in Earth scenarios as well. So that's exciting. We want to thank those of you that have already committed to sponsor the Space Forum dinner. There is opportunities to be involved in this in a greater way. And when we get to the sponsorship opportunities that remain for this year's Congress, Amanda Godwin will share a little bit more on that as well. But we want to say thank you to those of you that have already committed to be part of that great event. One other event I wanted to highlight and say thank you is and encourage all of you to participate in it. And that's our Saturday night event. This year it's entitled AVLS and All That Jazz on Bourbon Street. We have reserved a venue at the corner of Bourbon and St. Louis, right on Bourbon Street. We're going to have this second story, large wraparound balcony, great opportunity to experience Bourbon Street, but kind of have a safe haven while you're doing that together, be able to enjoy that, but get out on Bourbon Street as well. Regardless of whether you're an exhibitor attendee, this is not a party that is just for our clinical or medical attendees. We encourage all of you to come participate in this. It's a great time to build relationships and all of that as well. So you'll see that as you get into register, the opportunity to purchase tickets for that event as well. But it's exciting to take advantage of New Orleans in such a way. And as part of that, we're actually going to have a second line. So everybody that's there on time, we're going to march from our hotel down to Bourbon Street with the horns and the bands, and just be a great little parade and just let the world know about venous lymphatic medicine. And we definitely want to thank CVR and MediUSA for sponsoring that evening and making that possible so that we can just really enjoy New Orleans. Amy, I believe you're out here with us. Just chime in as we move along. Wanted to share, just give everybody, this is again, all on the website. Just a reminder of our exhibition schedule and those kinds of things. Exhibitor setup is on Wednesday from 9 to 5 on Wednesday, October 12th. And then in the format on Thursday, the Pavilion will open at 12 o'clock, be open until 2:30. And then Thursday evening, we have an exhibitor happy hour, which will be in the Innovation Pavilion in the exhibit area. And so we'll bring everybody back. We repeat that again on Friday. And then on Saturday, the Pavilion again is open from 12 to 2:30 as well. We're going to have an exhibitor review meeting on Saturday, October 15th at 10 a.m. Want to highly encourage everybody, plan to be there. This isn't just a meeting where you come tell us what we've done wrong. It's also an opportunity to come and tell us what we've done right, but also bring new ideas too as well. And so we definitely want to hear from you. What's working, what's not, ideas for those of you that have been exhibiting us for a lot of years, and particularly over the last 4 or 5 years, we continue to, innovate, escalate, change, adapt what we're doing to make sure that we're all getting the greatest return on our investment of being here as well. We know that this Congress, but even all the way down to patient care, wouldn't occur without us operating as partners. And so, we definitely want your input, and we'll continue to tweak what we do and how we do things to make this a better and better event every year. When we look at the event schedules, these are things going on in and around Congress. Wanted to highlight the Foundation for Venous and Lymphatic Disease is sponsoring the Congress Expedition. This is Wednesday afternoon. This is going to be a hike through the historical district of the French Quarter, followed off with a tour through one of the cemeteries, a lot of history there in New Orleans. This is, again, open to everybody. There's opportunities to support the foundation through sponsorships of the event, but also as individuals. Just plan to come be part of this. It's a great opportunity to interact with the attendees as we take this guided tour through New Orleans on Wednesday. We will be having a new member reception on that evening, and as well as our AVLS Fellows Dinner. So these are the members that have achieved fellowship status within the society, and have a dinner for them as well. We have an ultrasonography breakfast Thursday morning. Again, I mentioned the exhibitor happy hours, the space forum we've talked about. Want to highlight also Saturday morning, the fun run and walk. Again, please take advantage, be part of that. That's going to be right along the Mississippi River, as we're going to watch the sunset come up over the river as you're walking, running, strolling, just enjoying the morning. So hope you'll take advantage of that. And then I mentioned that jazz party on Saturday night.
Dean, this is Chris. Can I interject for a sec?
Please
two
do.
things. I'm sure you're going to talk about the Venous and Lymphatic Village subsequently.
Correct, but go ahead.
Okay. Actually, I just want to make sure. There's a question that was answered by Amy from an anonymous attendee, and I wanted to answer that as possibly the only doc on this call. And the question is the content of the 22 hours in person also available as on demand? What is the benefit to physicians to attend in person? Look, I'll tell you this, we're social beings. Nothing's proved that more than this virus. And doctors love getting together and fellowshipping and all that at these meetings. It's not all about content. In fact, folks that, a little later in their career, a little more expert, look forward to just getting together with their colleagues and their friends and really just talking about stuff. So I thought it was important to get that perspective that just because you can get content asynchronously online is in no way a substitute for even most physicians for this type of a meeting. And even if you did want to do the content, look at me now. I mean, I'm driving between offices. The docs if you think docs have time to go through 22 hours of content when they get back to wherever they're practicing, that's generally a pipe dream. So we go to these meetings, in all honesty, because we have dedicated time where we can learn this stuff and not try to do it in between all our responsibilities back at home. So anyway, I wanted to clearly answer that, at least from my perspective, and I think from the perspective of most physicians. If I missed anything, let me know.
No, I think that's great, Chris. And, one thing to add to that as well, the way the AVLS Congress is now structured with the on-demand side, when you look at all of the concurrent sessions and those kinds of things, it's actually all over 65 hours of total available content. And attendees, when they come in person, they still have the opportunity to go back over the next 3 or 4 months and do that. And what's interesting is been to see how many attendees after their in-person experience do go back and look at the other content. So that's one issue. Definitely, how do they get the most out of what's being presented educationally? But there's another thing as well, and it's something I've learned from our Director of Continuing Medical Education, Joyce King, as well. And when you look at how people learn, and we see this at our meetings as well. You sit in a lecture, you hear the information that's been presented, and most of these meetings, it's a 8 to 10 minute presentation, 1 to 2 minute Q&A, and then you're done. You move on to the next topic. A lot of learning happens in between. It's at the coffee breaks, it's at the lunch breaks, it's over dinner, right? It's the interaction peer to peer that oftentimes the information that's presented turns from information into knowledge, and that's dealing with and talking to your peers. So there is still, and we hear that from many physicians, non-physicians as well. It's the learning opportunities in between that occur, and we're seeing that a lot now in our My AVLS community, where our membership has the opportunity to post a question and they're interacting back and forth. And it's that peer-to-peer interaction that if individuals choose to be 100% virtual and not come in person, that they're missing out on for that as well. So terrific. Our satellite symposiums, we recognize and continue to expand the opportunities here that not all learning is CME learning. And that while all of you that are on this call, as far as the ACCME is concerned, come from the dark side, and we need to keep education pure, but we recognize that there's a lot of opportunity to learn a lot from, the smart, intelligent people that work for the companies as well. So these symposiums are great opportunities to do that. We have a couple spots open. One thing I wanted to let all of the exhibitors know that we tweaked our schedule this year so that when we get to the exhibit hall, the Innovation Pavilion hours opening at 12 o'clock, we've cleared the first hour. There is no competitive symposium going on during the first part of our lunch break, which is a 2.5 hour long program. So everybody is basically got, to come get lunch and interact with our exhibitors. So, we've listened to that. We've tried to tweak the schedule to where we can still provide these great symposiums, yet at the same time, recognizing that, we still want our attendees to spend time learning from you in the exhibit hall as well. So that's a change in the program this year coming out of feedback that we received from last year as well. There are a couple opportunities available as well, if that's something you want to do. Amy, let's see, comments on things they need to touch base on regarding registrations and electric, all of that good stuff.
Yep, absolutely. Hi, everybody. So AGS, who is our expo manager, our service contractor, they are going to be sending out all of the information for items for your booth and carpet purchases. Actually, we don't need to do carpet purchases this year because the hall is carpeted, so X-nay that. But the electric and the shipping, all of this information is going to come out in late July from them. So you should be receiving an email from them with all that information. And we will also put this inside of the exhibitor portal for you as well. And then for the exhibitor attendee registrations, Once your booth was paid in full and our registration
Yes, Alex,
opened,
today.
so the exhibitor attendee registration, once our attendee exhibitor portal opened, if you paid your booth in full, then you received an email with your discount code. I'm going to resend all of that right after this meeting in case you missed it. But if you do have any questions regarding that, I can certainly help you. It is the same system as last year. So the email will be coming from the exhibitor portal service, but you will be registering inside of our attendee registration, which is through Fvld. So again, I'll send all of that information out after this meeting, again, to refresh memories, or in case it just got lost in inboxes, because that certainly happens as well. And then we do ask for all payments to be received by July 31st. So this way here, we could just get everything done and ready to go. And then we are hoping that our website is going to be going live next week. With that, when the website does go live, then we are going to, individuals who go on will be able to see company information. So you'll want to complete the tasks that are inside the exhibitor portal. Otherwise, it is just going to state your name and it's not going to have any of the information available for them. So the faster you complete the tasks, the happier the website will look. And I think that's everything on my list.
Great, thank you, Amy. And as you see on the here, those of you that have registered to exhibit with us that are on this call, thank you for that, and a lot to get done as we get closer to October. If you're on the call and you're still trying to make a decision whether to exhibit or not, there is still space available. Our exhibit hall this year is fairly limited in total space compared to venues of the past. So, make sure you make that decision as soon as you can and get an appropriate space as well. So again, thank you for that. The Venous and Lymphatic Village, and just wanted to point out and take a couple minutes to talk about this opportunity. This is something we started back in 2018 when we were in Nashville. Again, recognizing that we can learn a lot from the smart people that you've employed at your companies as well. This will happen Sunday morning. We're bringing it back. Dr. Nick Morrison and Linda Antonucci will be overseeing the selection of this. And so this is an opportunity a little bit different than what you would do during the exhibition hours in meeting where you have limited time. This is kind of, think of it as an opportunity at hands-on learning. Our attendees, and when we did this in Nashville, we had about 250 over the course of Sunday morning come through prior to heading out, flying home Sunday afternoon from the Congress. And it gives them a chance to spend 5, 10, 15 minutes, touch and feel, right? If you've got products where that makes sense for them to do, where you can have your designers, your engineers, your researchers there in front of them where they can have a more technical, because I do know a lot of our physicians really do appreciate when they understand what goes into the products that they're using. How do they work? How do they operate? What makes this different from that kind of thing? It's an application process in the cadmium system. When you're going through your task, there is a task. Do you want to apply for that? It's a fairly simple application. We just want to know who you would have talking, what the learning objectives are, what the attendees would be learning at that station, and then we'll make selections and then let you know later in the summer, I think around September or so, who's been selected to do that. This is a non-CME learning session in there. It's a very hands-on oriented kind of thing. So if you're thinking about another way to interact with attendees outside of just a booth in the exhibit hall, this is a great opportunity to put your really smart people in front of our attendees. With that, I want to turn things over and stop sharing. Amanda Godwin, our Director of Marketing Communications, is going to take you through some of the sponsorship opportunities, the website, a variety of things there. So I'll stop sharing, and Amanda.
Thank you very much. Let me get my presentation up. All right. So I just wanted to continue the conversation about some of our sponsorship opportunities, looking through some things that we still have available right now for 2022 in New Orleans. To recap, as Dean already mentioned, for the satellite symposia, we do still have 3 of those available. There's a Friday evening, which would be an hour around 7 p.m., a Saturday breakfast, which would be 7 a.m., and a Saturday lunch, which would be that 1 p.m. time slot. The Space Forum does still have sponsorships available in all of our sponsor levels, and each level includes additional items that you get with it, such as ads in the My AVLS magazine, push notifications, and a sponsored email. So each of these different tiers from Enterprise all the way up to Artemis includes more opportunities with it, and there is still availability to sponsor the Space Forum at all of these levels. The new member reception is going to be an evening activity on Wednesday, and this is primarily a networking event. We invite all of our new members for the past year, as well as our donors and our volunteers and our leadership within the society, to really just come and get to know each other. It helps welcome our new members and creates a welcoming atmosphere for all of those involved, and lets them have a chance to get to know each other. And as sponsoring this kind of helps align you with the society and gives you visibility within these new members. The Congress Expedition is going to be our foundation event happening on Wednesday, and there are a couple sponsorship opportunities still available, including sponsoring the Congress Expedition as the primary, providing a water bottle for all attendees, and providing a hat for all attendees. The Fun Run and Walk for Mel will be happening Saturday morning, as Dean mentioned, along the Mississippi River, and the primary sponsorship for that is still available, including logos on t-shirts, the medals, and a variety of other opportunities to take part in this event. And it's always a really fun gathering for members and attendees on Saturday morning before the start of education. My AVLS magazine ads, we still have a variety of ads available: the full page ad, half page ad, and one inside cover left. The My AVLS magazine is distributed in person to all of our on-site attendees physically, and then as well as digitally to all of our members and to any virtual attendees that they have a digital copy of it. The badge lanyards are still available. Those will be distributed to all attendees when they pick up their registration badge at registration desk. And so it's a great opportunity to get something for every attendee. The educational poster program is something we've done every year for the past few years. And this is a booth within the exhibit hall that is run by a program called Gobi, and they actually print custom designed medical posters for all attendees. These are free for the attendees to come and request their poster and take it home with them. And we usually average upper hundreds to about 1,000 of these posters printed every single year. And so if you look like kind of the design here on the left, there's these different quadrants that physicians can go through and actually pick what graphics they want included on their poster. So this is very customized to their practice. These are things that they can take home, hang in their practice, hang in their patient rooms, and encourage discussion and help facilitate those conversations with patients. We also still have a variety of on-site branding, and these are opportunities to really kind of help this space at the hotel feel very much part of the annual Congress, as well as increase the visibility. We have the lobby escalators, which is going to be one of the primary places that all attendees are going to have to move through as they enter the hotel, and everybody has to take these escalators up into the meeting space. Looking at these escalators off to the left, it's going to be where our registration desk is, and you have to continue on and up to get to the educational sessions as well. For any of these on-site branding opportunities, I do have a lot more detail, and I would be glad to discuss these in further detail with you all. If there's something you're particularly interested in or have any questions about, please just reach out to me and let me know, and we'd be glad to have those conversations. We have things such as these panels, which these rooms right here are going to be these doors. Our primary general session, it's going to be where all of our main education is happening. And so it gives you the opportunity to be right there outside of those doors.
Amanda, if I can interrupt, I just want to say,
yes.
I know Dr. Pittman just chatted to everybody, but thank you, Chris, for your time today. Appreciate it. I know you've got real live patients to have to go take care of. So
thank you all for your attention. We really appreciate your support of AVLS and the Foundation for Venous and Lymphatic Disease. We all need to get together, see our legacy industry partners, all our new partners, and New Orleans City and Bourbon Street just can't be experienced virtually. It's a bucket list for a lot of people. We look forward to seeing everybody there. Thanks, Dean. Thank everybody. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Pittman. So continuing through some of our on-sites, there's more opportunities for branding in the lobby. There's a second set of escalators that takes people from the registration floor up to where our education is going to be this year. And so that's going to be another heavy trafficked area for attendees. And windows that are going to be right next to our registration space, as well as some additional educational rooms. The elevators are very centrally located at this hotel. They're big, large glass elevators right in the middle of the atrium. And so it's going to be a high traffic area for all attendees coming to and from their rooms and even moving within the session levels. The atrium elevator doors are on the same floor as the main educational rooms, as well as the exhibit hall. The hotel bar is right in the middle of the lobby, and so being able to brand right next to that is going to be as visible to all attendees, whether they stop for a drink or not, as they're walking through that lobby. Additionally, these lighted columns are available, and they are on the pathway in between the escalators and the main session rooms. The room keys will be distributed to all attendees as they check into the hotel. We also still have a custom cloth face mask available, just with the continuation of the pandemic as an opportunity to keep all attendees safe as they feel comfortable. And then rotating sidebars on our website. And so you can see where the 2021 was on the right side of the website, and that would be the same for our new website this year. And finally, we also do still have some door drops. This is the opportunity to provide attendees at the hotel with a gift or a flyer and directly at their rooms as they come home each night, that they have something to find in their space. That concludes all of the sponsorship opportunities available. And I wanted to take a quick moment to also go over the Congress website with you all so you can see where we currently stand. Excuse me. So this is our annual Congress website that will be going live, as we already mentioned, on Friday. Particularly, we're going to be directing people to the detailed agenda, but I wanted to give you all a first look at what all we have going on and how attendees will interact, whether in person or virtually, with our content. There are several links right on this homepage to the Innovation Pavilion, to our list of satellite symposia, as well as the booth map. The booth map provides an actual map of the hall, as with the ability to roll over, see who is in each booth, as well as once you get your logo uploaded into the exhibitor portal, your logo will show up on your booth as well. And then moving into the Innovation Pavilion, this is our list of all of our exhibitors. Additionally, this is accessible through the left-hand navigation, and these are the same options as like I showed on the front of the page. View all exhibitors takes you to a logo wall, which, as our logos are populated, will be a nice visual. The booth map, browse by company, which is the same page that we're currently on, and browse by category, which will allow you to select different categories that fit your brand. This would be one of your tasks in the exhibitor portal, and allow attendees to actually click through and see who has selected what category. So looking at a booth, once you've completed all of your tasks, you have the opportunity to upload a banner. You have the opportunity to upload a video that will play. These are your categories that I mentioned. They show up a description of who you are, your contact information, and then the ability to provide several resources, whether they are PDF files that an attendee would be able to download a PDF, or if it is just a link to a website that would re-navigate to whatever page that you have that you need attendees to check out. Additionally, there's an additional brochure down here on the main bar and a link to your website that you can add. Finally, attendees will be able to request information. They do have to be registered attendees. As you see, it's asking you to log in order to access this. And it will send an email to you, and you'll be able to receive that email along with the attendees' contact information as sort of a virtual leads generation opportunity. Additionally, if you have a symposium, there'll be another tab that'll show up right below resources that would say educational opportunities, and it would list anything, any events that you have sponsored. And so if you're looking at the sponsored symposia, these show up in our full schedule. They also have a dedicated schedule. And once things like logos are added, those do appear in the satellite symposia section. So that kind of covers most of the website. There is additionally a mobile app. The mobile app will be set up and run fairly similar to how it has been in past times. And it's an opportunity for attendees on site to interact with each other, as well as with the agenda and with exhibitors, and just save all of their information to their account and remember things on the go.
Amanda, regarding
Yes.
the virtual booths, how is that going to work and operate for everybody throughout the year? What can they expect beyond just Congress time?
So once annual Congress is over, we will take that list, that company browse by company list page, and put that on our website and just rename it as a corporate directory. And so that is going to be available under the membership tab of the website as a member resource for everybody to be able to go through and access at any time during the year. And as a company who is listed on that, you'll automatically stay included on that if you're an annual Congress exhibitor for the whole year. And you'll be able to update that at any time that you want by logging back into the 2022 exhibitor portal and updating any information. So if you have contact information change or anything of that nature, if you want to change out the links, you're welcome to do that at any time after annual Congress, as well as an additional resource and as a way to just provide more information for our members beyond annual Congress about the companies that exhibit with us.
Great, thank you. Yeah, and I think that's one thing, as we talked about earlier as well, when we look at, the digital world that we're now part of and what the pandemic, moved us towards, right, is the fact that annual Congress, while it is an event, 13th to the 16th, and we drive everything there and everything happens, right, we now recognize with the tools and the technology that we have that we can continue to benefit from that experience and get a return on it afterward. And so as you're building out your information in there, not only think about it in terms of annual Congress, what's there, but that, again, this is going to become a member resource for everybody to be able to access later, and the fact that can be updated beyond. So that's a new feature, a new benefit that we're trying to bring to add value to what you're achieving as an exhibitor.
One other thing I wanted to ask all of you all as the exhibitors, we are looking and investigating a potential new feature that was just added to the website of a text chat. I know in the past we had tried doing the video chat in the booths, and that had mixed reviews about success. And so we will not be doing video chat with the booths this year. However, we are looking to investigate this text chat. So let me know if that is something you would be interested in. It would be a live chat opportunity. So if a member clicked chat with an exhibitor, they would expect to open a live chat opportunity with someone from your company. It would just be via text instead of via video. But if that is something that would be of use, would be of interest during the live annual Congress event, let me know. Or if that's something you'd rather not deal with, that's okay as well. Just let us know your thoughts and your feedback on having a live chat option during the event.
Great. All right, a lot of questions going on. Let me pick back up and start to bring this airplane down. A few more things we do want to cover as well. So thank you, Amanda, for that. Currently, and I know we've had some chatting going on about expected attendance, those kinds of things. We're currently, as of this morning, 261 total attendees. This does not include guests, does not include exhibitor registrations, those type things as well. 204 of those are in person. We have had 57 register for virtual. One interesting thing going on with that is we probably had at least 10 individuals switch from virtual to in-person or in-person to virtual. Not sure that is something they can do. And you know, we're definitely still living a little bit of the effects of the pandemic, particularly for our international attendees, while travel is still somewhat cumbersome. And then of course you throw in, I'm sure many of you have been trying to deal with flying around the country right now as well. So things seem to be a little slow there, but we are seeing people move back and forth from both types. We're planning for 800 to 850 attendees in person, plus our guests, plus exhibitor personnel, staff on top of that. Currently, we're 158 physician attendees, 103 non-physician attendees have registered. And that's pretty traditional for the AVLS Congress. We're usually around 65 to 70% physicians and 35 to 40% non-physicians in attendance. And if you go back and look at the nature of the program, there's a lot there for everybody involved. We are seeing more and more staffs, you know, kind of registering as a group, and hopefully we'll continue to see that as well as things grow. This is right on track with our registration rate last year in Denver, our first meeting back, but definitely still following kind of that post-pandemic rate. So we're got a lot of work going on to really push attendance. And I would also suggest, and we're happy to share with you any information to help. You know, this is an investment you're making to be here. We're doing everything we can to get as many attendees in person as well. But, you know, if you're investing to be part of this meeting, we would encourage you to also promote your participation among your customers, your clients, the physicians, therapists, technologists, things that you work with, and, you know, let them know that you're going to be here, what you're doing as well. And this is a great opportunity to get together. Very cost effective if they're coming here for you to reach a lot of people while they're as well. And Amanda and her team are happy to provide you with any information that you can use to promote to your client lists and those kinds of things as well. Again, this is a partnership, and if we can work together, we can make the most out of this, not only for AVLS, but also for you and what you're investing to be there. Moving off of 2022, and it's important we talk about 2023 because we're actually going to be experiencing an overlap. As we're preparing for New Orleans, we've already begun developing the program. AVLS has been awarded the 20th World Congress of the UIP, the International Union of Phlebology. That's going to be held in Miami Beach, Florida in September 2023. And so let me just give you a quick little introduction and a welcome and an invite.
Welcome to Miami Beach. My name is Mark Meisner, International Union of Phlebology. On behalf of both organizations, as well as our partner societies in North America, including the American Venous Forum, the Canadian Society of Phlebology, and the Mexican Association of Phlebology and Lymphology, I'd like to welcome all of you to the 20th World Congress of the International Union of Phlebology.
We'll be covering topics such as deep venous disease, pelvic venous disease, superficial venous disease, lymphedema, lymphedema, and wound care.
We can expect a very deep scientific program under the direction of the program chairs, John Blevia and Alan Davies, that will cover the entire spectrum of venous disease from superficial venous interventions to deep and pelvic interventions. In addition to a chance to connect with our colleagues from phlebology around the world, I think you'll enjoy visiting Miami Beach to spend time with family, as well as the many cultural resources of Miami Beach. I look forward to seeing you all there.
With this UIP meeting, we'll be connecting the continent and welcoming the world.
So while we're focused on New Orleans, and there's a lot to do, and as you're looking at all of that, decisions to be made, how to interact, how to get the most out of that, I do need you also thinking about, you know, Miami Beach 2023 as well. The exhibition prospectuses are being finalized now. You should see those and receive those sometime mid to late July of this year. And we're going to open up registration for exhibitions, sponsorships, those kinds of things in late August. And the reason for this is it's an international meeting. We're expecting 2,000 to 2,500 attendees from around the world. Our typical 800, give or take, from the US that would normally attend an AVLS meeting, as well as those coming from everywhere in the world. The pandemic has really hindered a lot of these world meetings, UIP meetings as well. And so coming to Miami Beach in 23 is going to be the first opportunity for many from around the world to be there as well. And so the process starts earlier than we would normally do, and that's just to make sure we're getting into everybody's budgets and your planning as well. This is a bigger event. It is being run by the AVLS in a similar format, very comprehensive meeting. We're going to have content for ultrasonography technicians, lymphedema therapists, as well as our traditional superficial venous, thrombosis, those kinds of things as well. So as you can see, that's there. We're going to start calling for submission of abstracts in September, and then attendee registration, where we would normally open our meeting in April, it will be opening in November of this year. So I need all of you to start thinking of things in parallel as well. Don't miss out on 23 because you're focused on 22, but don't overlook 22 in New Orleans, because that's our most pressing thing at this point now as well. So with that, I know we've had a lot of questions in chat. We set this up so that you can open your microphone if you have anything verbally you'd like to talk to about as well. Please know that one thing I'm committed to, Dr. Pittman, John Mangold, Amy, Amanda, our staff, is to make sure you're getting the most out of your participation in the annual Congress, which is why we started hosting this meeting, to help you prepare for that Congress. We recognize that not only the Congress occurring is due to you being there, but it's an opportunity for us to work together to really advance the field of venous and lymphatic medicine. And our members couldn't do this on their own. You can't do it on your own, and it's only when we come together. So anything we can do to help you improve your experience, that return on investment, please, please let us know. Any questions we've not addressed on chat, things that you want to bring out? And if you don't want to do it in public, you can always reach out to me directly or to Amy, Amanda, the team, as well. If you go to avlscongress.org, there's an opportunity in there. You can click get information with that as well.
Dean, one question that seems to be important is UIP. Is it different than AVLS Annual Congress?
No, great question. I just saw that pop up on the chat. And yes, correct. Replace is not the right term. It is actually a combining of the two. So we are not having an AVLS Congress and a UIP meeting. It will be one meeting together. The structure, the format, all of that is, if you're an AVLS member, a regular attendee, this is a meeting they're going to want to be at as well. It is in September, so it's a month earlier than the normal AVLS meeting, but we are not hosting two meetings in 2023. It is a single event.
Program content, though, will be geared toward domestic U.S. and global interests, correct?
Correct. And the dates are September 17th through the 21st for the UIP meeting 2023. And it runs a little different schedule. It starts midday on Sunday and runs through midday on that Thursday, the 21st. Amy, Amanda, John, other questions, comments, things that maybe we didn't cover? Yeah.
Several want to confirm that this presentation that we're doing now is being recorded and will be available to the public after this meeting is over. We have said in chat, and we are committed to getting this up as quickly as possible. Assuming we can get it done this week would be ideal. At minimum, it will be done early next week after the 4th. But yes, it is recorded and it will be available online at avlscongress.org. Another question that's come up is the symposiums. As a symposium sponsor, do I have responsibilities to get my speakers lists and presentation topics submitted so that you guys can promote the event and help coordinate things relative to it. Amy and Amanda have answered those questions in chat. But yes, you have a responsibility as a symposia sponsor to get content and lecturers information to us so that we can be helpful in getting your program promoted. It is part of your expectations when you take one and it shows up in your exhibit portal, your responsibilities and tasks. That's
Right.
where we'll coordinate with everyone.
Yeah, let me expand on that a little bit as well. A little different. So as that program comes in, for those of you that are doing this or considering doing this as well, your satellite symposium will actually be part of the entire educational platform. And so it's going to show up in the Congress website, in the schedule. They'll be able to drill down as you provide us the speaker information. All of the attendees will see that. It'll look just like every other educational program that we're putting on, although it will definitely be, indicated as sponsored by Tactile Medical or Lymphopress or Medtronic or whoever is sponsoring that. And I'm just trying to run down the list of those that have already acquired that. And so we're managing it a little bit different than we've done in the past. So this hopefully will help facilitate that. I think our room capacities are about 150 for attendees, and I would say expect 100 to 125 on average is what we've seen historically as well. And all of those sessions, some of those will be live streamed, and those of you that have taken those understand it'll be live streamed as part of what's available, the virtual, but all of the sessions will be recorded content and made available to all attendees after the fact as well. So even if it's not being live streamed, it is being recorded, and we will have AV technicians, all of that in each of the rooms. We're handling these sessions just like we do every other educational session that we've traditionally done in the past. So that's something we're trying to make that a better experience for those of you that are putting together programs. And I encourage you, put some great content on that podium, right? Something that's attractive to the attendees that they can come in and learn from you, and you're really smart people that you can put in front of them. It's a great opportunity to interact at a different level.
One other question, Dean, that's come up is a request to just make sure they understood you clearly when you were discussing the Venous and Lymphatic Village, which many are referring to as hands-on workshops, if there will be a cost and how a presentation gets selected to be a part of the Venous and Lymphatic Village. Okay, yes. So no, as an exhibitor, you have the opportunity to apply. There's no additional expense other than you need to have somebody there Sunday morning to work your work area. Essentially, the village is just going to be one of our large meeting rooms. You're going to be broken off into individual areas around where you can interact with attendees as they migrate and mill through the area there. As far as how the applications will be reviewed, that's up to Dr. Morrison, Linda Antonucci. They'll be looking at them, and really what they're assessing is to make sure that it's an educational opportunity, right? That what you're looking to provide and present isn't just a simple sales pitch that you could do in the exhibit hall during the week, but it's a real opportunity for people to come in and learn something a little bit more. The space is limited. We're probably around 10 to 15 companies in total based on the amount of space that we have allocated for this. So, but yeah, they'll be looking at it as, is this educational content of value that would be attractive to the attendees to come see? And then our sports enthusiasts simply want to confirm that there will be no FVLD golf outing in New Orleans.
No golf outing in New Orleans. Now, there's plenty of great golf courses in the area. The foundation and the golf committee looked at that, and the logistics of going off site, having to bus people back and forth, and the time just didn't work out for New Orleans. But there are some great golf venues. Happy to share that with you. I've been out. John and I were down last year touring a lot of great golf courses in the area, but they're a 30 to 45 minute commute out of the city. And so no there. Congress Expedition, great opportunity for all of you, to participate in, to walk with the different attendees. It's a great chance to interact with different individuals over a few hour period. Same thing with the fun run. And again, as I mentioned at the beginning, Tracy Callahan is the Grand Marshal for both of those events. So she's going to be there. A great opportunity to meet her. If you're into Olympic volleyball and all of that, I think she's retiring, but great autograph opportunity kinds of things as well. So get engaged in both of those activities.
One last question. If I have an interest in securing a meeting suite while in New Orleans, how would I go about doing that?
So I believe we have 1 or 2 hospitality suites, maybe one. Amy can confirm. Just reach out to Amy Pfaffenbach, meetings@myavls.org. And if you have an interest in that, we do have a committee room that, a lot of our members will be using for different committees, that kind of thing. But I do believe we have a hospitality suite, at least 1, if not 2 left. So just drop a note to us and we'll interact with you individually on it. I think that covers all the questions. Amanda, Amy, John, thank you. Again, Dr. Pittman, I think, has put together a fantastic program this year. And when you look at the content, and as you get an opportunity this Friday to start drilling into the specific talks and what's going on in each of these sessions, and if you're paying attention to our promotions, Amanda and her team is going to start a whole campaign around a lot of that exciting content, really driving these key speakers, key topics, things that are going on, that as people start understanding what the meeting's about, we're expecting to have a great turnout and looking forward to November. Let's see, anything else? I think we're covered. Good, good. Again, thank you. Thank all of you for your time being part of this today. And, if anybody has any questions, please drop us a note, give us a phone call. We're here to help. Thank you and good day.